that vibe, fearing defeat, accepting that that is something that can happen as a pro boxer, people tell me is kind of essential, really. You have to have that understanding of what could happen in there. It doesn't matter.
Wow, see how you double guessed them, Ben? Oh, because I could kill you right now on your platform.
That was...
You can't say that.
I can say a lot. I can talk about your uni days, Ben.
Now. Parliamentary procedure, gentlemen. Parliamentary procedure. I was just saying something there. The attitude from Conor Benn was good, because pro fighters do need to, I think anyway, fear defeat. It can be a motivating factor. Does Eubank fear defeat in this fight, do you think, Ben? I don't feel like that's something he could ever admit to.
No. I think that's what will be the difference, if I'm honest, is that he's been in these pay-per-view events, in these high-pressure moments so many times now. He's lost, he's won, he's come back. There's been rematches, there's been away crowds, there's been hostile atmospheres. He's ice cold. This doesn't faze him. This is what he lives for, and he's just looking forward to Saturday. He's so relaxed, had an amazing camp, trained for it like it's a world title, which is actually, everyone says you leave no stone unturned, but for Chris, it's actually unusual. He really has. Yeah, we're just really looking forward to it now.
Do you know what? I think what a fantastic job everyone's done at not highlighting the 6-inch height difference. And I can't lie, I think if Conor Benn does go and do this, I don't expect him to, I'll be real. I think Chris is going to win this fight, I do. But if Conor does, I hope he gets accepted and celebrated the way that he genuinely deserves for how much of an uphill climb that I see this fight as, me personally.
That's a good point, actually. People aren't really talking about...
I think they're missing out on it right now. Look at the bookies. The odds ain't that far apart, and I think that's mental to me.
Yeah, the height thing is it's a real thing, and the reach that comes with it.
And not just the physicality. If you look at who Eubank has fought,
the level, yeah, and
you look who Benn has fought, like it's the mismatch in terms of experience and accomplishment in the ring. It's all what people are thinking this is in terms of making it a closer fight or backing kind of Benn is current form. He was coming into what should have been the first fight. He was on a roll, and I guess they're thinking, well, Eubank, he got stopped by Liam Smith. Okay, he won the rematch, but Liam didn't look right. And is it father time catching Eubank? I think that's what people are looking at.
But for a fighter, look, you guys know better than me. But if you don't have to make weight and you can just live healthily and put on size and go in there and not worry about it. Chris, all he's thinking about is weight right now. It's not easy for him.
No, and that's what I think people are looking at. I think people see that as a massive factor in why they can... The ones who are leaning towards Benn, I think that's a big part of their decision-making process.
And there's a lot of lightweights that would batter me right now, even though I don't have to make weight. It's just the way it is. If you're naturally a much bigger man, and we have seen that by where you spent your career at, there has to have been some real sizable advantages, and we've... see it. They stood next to each other. It almost looks like Conor shouldn't be fighting him. It looks like a smaller version of David Hay when he come up against Value. It was just such a sheer height difference. Obviously not a whole foot, just half a foot, feel like. And really a 20 pounds from where Conor started his career to where he's going to be fighting against Chris Eubank, someone that's campaigned at 160, went up to 168 and is coming back. I just think I think we're oversighting how much of an underdog Conor Benn should be, but I think everyone is. And I think that's been a great job of promoting by Matchroom, and also a great job of Chris Eubank of not mentioning how much bigger he is than him as well. It's not the height, it's not the size, it's the skills.
Look, I think Chris is well aware of the fact that he's going in there against a more athletic, a younger, a fitter, a more explosive guy. I believe that we know that as a camp, and so we know the first 3 rounds. Conor's going to jump on him, and it's going to be chaotic, and it's going to be, it's going to be something that Chris has to get through. And that's what we're feeling is can we get through those first 2-3 rounds, and then that should take over what you're saying. But I think it's going to be a dangerous fight, personally. I think Chris isn't underestimating him. And look, Conor certainly believes in himself.
I think Eubank, if this wasn't such a massive event, I think if it was just based on pure boxing, what we know of Conor and what Eubank's done, and the fact that there is the size difference, I think Eubank could think it's a fight that there's only one way he can lose, and he gets caught with a silly shot. Yeah. But I think because of the magnitude of the event and the history and the bad blood, I don't think he'll get caught with the stupid shot. Do you know what I mean? I think he'll be super switched on.
Yeah, and he's shown a good level of boxing and been able to stay away and able to set trap. Chris has gone all the way to the top of the game. Okay, he lost against Billy Joe Saunders. He lost against world champions, Callum Smith, George Grove, high-level fighters. Well. Yeah. But high-level fighters where, like I've said the whole way, I think Matchroom have done such a tremendous job matching and building up Conor Benn, I think that people are completely overlooking that his best win was against a 4 years past retired Algeri, who every time he stepped in against the elite level got wiped out. And I think it's bizarre that people aren't making as much of a big point of it.
You're not really selling this event, you know.
Ben, just
I'm
one.
I'm here to comment on it.
Just one for you before we let you go. We're not expecting to see Eubank Sr. in the corner, around the corner, particularly near Chris during this week. But things can always change. Do you get any sense that could happen? And at this stage, it probably wouldn't be that helpful, would it?
No, I don't think so. I think, to be honest, it's so close to the fight night now, it's just not something that anyone wants to talk about, wants to bring up. I can't imagine it was nice, Chris, seeing that. But because he's been here before, because he's been through a lot, he's just focused on the fight right now. For me personally, what his dad said and did, whether you agree with half of it or not, shouldn't be aired in the public, especially this close to a fight. I think some of it was overboard and personal. And personally, I think he should be very proud of his son and what he's achieved in the game. And that's all we're focused on. At the end of the day, if his dad will be there, we would be delighted as his dad. Not his trainer, not his boxing advisor, but as his dad. And that's all Eubank really wants.
OK, thanks very much for coming over. We will swap you out with Eddie Hearn. So he's spoken to
again,
Conor
the proper
Ben,
promoter right now. So
Ben Shalom, and Eddie Hearn joins us now. So that was a nice awkward photo with you and Ben in the middle of the stage.
I said, go on, dance. He started dancing.
I just wonder.
Now I've got him under complete control. I just wait, do that.
Behave yourself. Behave yourself. Were you tempted to turn around and turn it into a face-off though? That's what we were really wanting.
No, definitely not. That's definitely cringe. But you know, look, I think just like you see in the FA Cup, this is a bit. I mean, forget the fight. The fight's a 50-50, but promotionally, it's like the dream of the FA Cup, isn't it? All small clubs get their chance, you know, to take on the big boys, and I think, you know, it's a big moment for him.
And when you look at that, you look at what you've put into Conor Benn, everything that you've put behind promoting him, the fact that you've stuck with him through absolutely everything. When at stages, I think people probably expected there would come a point where you might feel like you just had to cut your losses, you know, business is business, that kind of thing. You've got him to here now into this massive fight. I wouldn't say from a business point of view, do you feel like he owes you or he owes you a win?
Listen,
but
at the end of the day,
it's big though, isn't it?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I either believe you or I don't. And if I believe you, I got your back. And that's all it was. It wasn't really that deep. I had Conor Benn, Nigel Benn, Tony Sims in my office 24 times when this was all going on. No one sees really behind the scenes, the tears, what it did to the family, spending nearly £1 million. He did, basically nearly going bankrupt to defend his name, you know, getting ridiculed across social media. No one even wanted to talk to him. But that's not what it was all about. I just believed him. And I weren't going to walk away from someone that I believe in. What would that make me be? Sorry, mate, I'm going to have to duck out because it ain't a good look for me. This is like we were in it together. And it's not, he don't owe me.
You see people do it though, don't you?
Yeah, but look, I mean, look, we're in it together. If I felt that if I didn't believe him, one thing's for sure, for 2.5 years, and still, I wouldn't have taken constant stick about it. I would have just gone, mate, I'm really sorry, like you said. But you don't do that. If you believe in someone and he's your mate, forget the client bit. I've represented Conor Benn since he was a baby coming in at the O2. He could hardly stand up. Since he was, 18, 19? I've spent a lot of time with him, and the family just doesn't work like that. You know, if I'm with you and you're with me, I've got your back. And when I believe in you like I did to Conor Benn, there was no way we were backing down. And now it's paying dividends. Now, that's all irrelevant. Completely irrelevant. All that matters is Saturday and the result. And I believe when he wins this fight, I will go absolutely berserk because it will be one of the sweetest moments and he will become the biggest star in British boxing with victory on Saturday night. But he's got to do it. And it's a tough fight. It's a 50-50 fight. But I've never seen people like Tony Sims, you know, obviously I know Nigel's his dad, but the whole training team, you don't understand what he's been doing in this camp, to who he's been doing it to the sides of the people he's been doing it to. And I know sparring, everyone can say that. But I tell you what, if you could have programmed Conor Benn to turn up Saturday in the absolute peak of his powers, he's done it. So the rest is up to him.
Okay. Well, as always, you've given a great summation of events. Actually, no, one more then. So how does he win?
He knocks him out inside 6 rounds. I mean, look, I think that one thing is Conor Benn is very accurate. He's very sharp early. He always lands early in the fight. Eubank is not this incredible fighter with unbelievable defence and footwork that's hard to land clean on. So Conor is going to land early in this fight. And I believe when he lands early and sharp, he will knock him out. Now, don't get me wrong, I've said before, this isn't a case of we go, oh, yeah, there's no way we can lose this fight. It's a very dangerous fight. I'm interested to see what Eubank does. What's he going to do? Is he going to take the middle of the ring? He's not going to want to get backed up, is he? By Conor, with the feints and the twitches early, get backed up on the ropes like the Chris Algieri knockout? Because that's what happened against Liam Smith. Does he come out and just fight fire with fire and say, look, I'm the bigger guy, I think I punch harder, I think I'm bigger, I'll stand and have it with you?
Should do.
But then if you do, you're going to get a British version of Hagler Hearns, and it'll be all over inside 3 rounds, one way or the other.
Have that one way.
A British version of Hagler Hearns would be absolutely fine. Yeah. Thanks very much for your time. Thanks very much, Matt. Sonny, we'll be speaking, I'll definitely be speaking to you two again tomorrow, probably yourself every day this week as we build towards fight night. Saturday night, after 3.5 years in the making, this fight is finally